Hello, how are you? I hope you're well. This is Julie Torrens. So we're going to be doing art journaling today. So what I've got here, I had these pieces of paper and they're watercolor paper and I call them cutoffs. These were parts of watercolor paper that I had cut because I was making a specific size. Now, this could be, I'm sure it is a cellulose type paper. It might even be mixed media paper. I'm not sure. It probably is because it doesn't feel as thick. But I took my 3-inch, it's 3.5-inch circle punch, and I punched circles out of this. And so I've already done that. And then maybe some of you purchased when these were very popular. Now mine is made by Superior. I don't know if you can read that, but it's Superior. Superior is a really good student grade level of paint. They're not children's paints. These are student grade. So they're not, the biggest difference between student grade and professional grade is that there's not a lot of pigment information. There's not color fast information, but they're good, highly pigmented paints. Now you may notice that mine have some cracks in them over the years. That doesn't change a thing about them. So we're going to be using these because I thought maybe some of you would. They came in like fold out like a book. Some look like cell phones, but these are great. These are good basic watercolors, but a lot of great colors, and you can do good color mixing. I think they're just fine. So here's the circles I cut out. And this is, if you can remember going back, Flowers for a Friend. Remember this book with all the brown flowers? Well, we did it was weeks ago, we did 5 backgrounds just to get backgrounds set up. And so I was just going through my books and I found this background and I thought, yes, I'm going to work on this. So this is just book page. It's a dictionary page and music notes. And I put it on with gel medium. So it's ready for acrylics or anything you want to put. But it wouldn't be great for watercolor. So I'm making it great for watercolor. So I cut out these circles that I'm going to be placing. And then where I had a circle already cut out, I cut a circle up next to it, knowing that I wouldn't get the whole thing, because look at them, they knit perfectly. So you can put one up against the other if that's what you want. So I just made a variety. So let's get the whole circles laid out first and just, kind of decide now, do I want one in the seam? Let's try without, but if I feel like it's necessary, we can still do it. So this is another part. So I've got 5 large circles, and maybe I could tuck one here. I can move this over, and maybe I can tuck one here. Looks a little heavy at the bottom. Maybe I will bring this down and bring this down. Put this one here. I think I like that better. And then I cut these two, and I wasn't sure if they would fit. I think they will. Like maybe this one, because I like things to go right off the page. I could glue one here, maybe move this aside. And then I also made a corner one, but I'm not sure. I think we're just gonna set that one aside. And let's make some room. I like this layout okay. I think I do. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I think it's a good start. I almost wish I had something here, but if I move this here, then I think it's awfully crowded. That's why I like that one more here. What about these? Maybe a little more like that. See, this space is bothering me. Well, would I rather it this way? Now I've got the two connecting ones at the top. Well, maybe I would rather have connecting here. Bring these over. Now I'll tell you what's on my mind. It looks to me like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All divided up. How can I fix that? Maybe I'm going to grab that corner one. I'm reaching. Okay. Bring this in a little. Hey, we got it. This makes me happy. All right, let's start gluing. Now, can you see this is like bumpy? So I'm going to want to use a really good glue. My first thought is gel medium. I'm going to use the art glitter glue, which is another really strong glue. And the reason why is I don't want to add more acrylic to this. This has been drying for literally weeks, and I do not want to have to go back and have it dry again. And once you put acrylic on, you really should let it dry. Well, you know, I'm just going to use watercolor. It won't matter. Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm thinking now. But as I get into the project, I may think otherwise. So I know this one, you're thinking if she's going to glue all these at this pace, this one is really on a bumpy surface. I don't know that I'm going to be quite this deliberate with all of them. I don't know. We're just going to have to see. Let's not put that too far away and give this a bit of a press. So what's happening where you are? Have you been working in your art journals or doing some sketching? Maybe you just got a set of watercolors that you're starting to work on, and this can be an exercise that you can do without working in an art journal exactly like this. You're going to still get some tips and ideas. So, all right. I feel like that's down pretty well. We can always tack it some more. Let's get this one down. Now, this one's on a lot more of a flat surface. So let's see. And I'm just seeing if I can pull off some of this glue at the top. You know, this likes to clog easy. So, yeah, it's better. Like I said, I'm not as worried about this one as I was the other one. So it's the second week in October 2022 here in Western Michigan. It is not peak color season, but you're hard pressed to look outdoors from any window or from your car and not see some beautiful fall colors. There is a lot of beautiful fall colors. So are the leaves changing where you are? I know I've got people in New York, which is, I believe, more north than me. I mean, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not looking at a map, but now Maine. There's a artist that I follow, the Frugal Crafter. She's in Bangor, Maine, and she is in peak color right now. So that's exciting. But now we have had a significant frost. I don't know if they would call it a killing frost, but I know it took me a minute to get my car window scraped off, literally scraped, not just wiped down. So I think we've had a pretty significant frost. I know that when I've been driving to work, which I usually drive to work about 8 o'clock at night, I saw houses that had their delicate plants covered up that day. So yeah, we've definitely had some significant frost. I know it went below 32, but this week, today is Sunday, this week, I think it's Thursday, they've got it predicted that it may go up into the 70s. So I think, I'm not a meteorologist, but I think that means we're going to have a true Indian summer. I think once you have a freeze below 32, and then following that you have 70 degrees or more, I think that's the definition of an Indian summer. Again, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's interesting to think about, don't you think? Sure it is. So let me know in the comments While you're there, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like and subscribe. And if you're not sure about subscribing, it's free. And you have a choice of whether you want notifications or not as my videos come live. But I would appreciate it so much. I'm a new channel, really just getting started. I'm right about at the 6-month mark, and I'm doing good with my watch time hours, and thank you all so much. And I've learned a lot, and I'm still learning, so I appreciate your patience with me. But I am falling behind, I guess. I don't know what average is or what is really expected from a channel like mine. You know, some people get millions of everything within the first couple of videos. I never expected that. I'm not that kind of a channel. But those of you who've been watching me faithfully, oh, thank you so much. And I've gotten such wonderful comments, and I've gotten some correspondences that have just been so encouraging to me. And I hope that I'm encouraging to you, because truly I believe everyone is an artist. If you want to be an artist, you can be an artist. You are an artist. Let's change that. You are an artist. What is everyone's definition of an artist? Well, I don't care. If you want to do art and you're sketching and drawing and doodling, and I don't care if all you do is doodle when you're talking on the phone, that's art. It really is. And that can be built upon, and you can take off and do some beautiful things. Okay, so I'm seeing a little lifting here. No surprise. Let's get a little more glue in there and give it a press. This glue does stick pretty darn fast. Faster than like Elmer's or Aleene's tacky glue. Those are good glues, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to use as optimal as I can because I want to be able to keep working while I'm with you. But do you need to buy art glitter glue? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Use what you have, truly. And there may be some of you who know of for this application, even a better glue. Tell me about it. Put it in the comments. I'll give it a try. I'll try anything if I can afford it. I would hope there's not a whole lot of glues out there that I can't afford. Well, we've got this just about nailed. We're getting them on. Put my finger over here. How many hands do we need, right? And you know, you could just, maybe you're on your way out the door. Just get this much done and then let the glue set. It's fine. You don't know how pleased I was when I knew I wanted to be with you, and thank you for joining me. And I just grabbed my art journals and started opening them up, and I came to this all ready to go background. I was tickled. Yay. And it didn't take me long to think about what I was going to do, because when I was in my looking, I came across these watercolor offcuts, and I thought it's time to do something with these. It really is. All right, let's knit this one up against that one. See how nice they fit when you just cut one out of the other? You know, you've got the hole already there, and then you just bring your punch. And look, if you don't have a punch, don't worry about it. Get a glass, get a jar, set it down, draw a circle. That's what I had to do with some of these. With this one, my punch wouldn't punch this small. So I just took one of these circles like this, used it as a template, and I just drew it so that I could cut it out. No problem. And you can do the same thing with a jar lid, and they don't all have to be the same size. Maybe you want to put a cereal bowl here and maybe a couple of glasses over there. Beautiful. Go for it. Make it your own. Now, do I feel like this is a totally original idea? No one's ever seen anything like this before? Absolutely not. But I haven't seen this where you've got the background, neutral, collage, and then watercolor paper glued on top. No, I haven't seen that tutorial yet. But you're seeing one now. Yay. All right, let's get this guy on there. I think you can see my hands. This one is a little bit tricky, and if it's over the top, I'll just trim it. So it's not a problem. Okay, how are we doing? This one still seems like it's trying to pop up a little bit. I'll give it another chance. I've got a little, there's going to be some of that. And, that's okay. I'm not in a big rush because before I start putting water on here, the more I tack it down, the more the rest of the glue has a little chance to dry before I put water on top and start to hinder that process. So it's all good. I am working hard to not get glue on top of the watercolor paper because that will make it react different. Now, is it ruined? No. Okay, well that looks up to me, but it really isn't. This little corner's up. Let's just keep our finger here for a moment. Sometimes just the thickness of the paper and my lighting makes a shadow, and so it looks like it's coming up, but it really isn't. So we all need to be a little bit ready for that. And you're not going to have the level of lighting that I have. You don't need it, but I want you to be able to see. Okay, I think we're doing well. Let's close this up and get started on the next part. I've got the watercolors that I showed you. Now, you know how I normally take and spray my watercolors. I can't really do that with this because, I would just have to spray the whole table. So I'm just going to be picking some colors and I'll just activate them with water right on the spot. It's fine. Will it take longer? Maybe, but I don't think it'll take a huge amount of time. These are big. I've got my coffee. I hope you've got some coffee. I'm going to take a sip. Thank you for letting me do that. These may have to go a little off to the side, and I'll show you as best I can. Now, what's underneath are like color chips. And again, for me to try to make a swatch of these, how would I do it in a way that I could look at a swatch and look at the fan? I'm just using these and it's close enough. Close enough. This particular palette feels more like warm colors than cool colors to me. And that's fine. Like, I don't see a pinkety pink, but there is some kind of corally colors, plenty of yellows, browns, greens. The blues are leaning more towards turquoise. And the greens are leaning more towards a brown or a yellow. So to me, these are warmer colors. But in the autumn, maybe that's what's inspiring me. I'm not sure. So I'm going to set these here. I know you can't see it, but I'll try to include you as best I can. I'm going to grab a big brush. I've got my dual water here, and I've got some paper towels. And let's start by wetting. And I am going to be working top to bottom just so that I'm not dragging my arm in it. So I'm going to start way up here. Probably not the smartest thing I've ever done, just because, and can you even see that? Just because that's the last one I glued down. Now I'm making it wet, but All right, what colors do I want? I'm going to start out with a blue. So I can see down here, these are blues. Exactly what kind of blue? I don't know. I'm going in with this. Looks kind of like a teal blue to me. And I am rubbing it a little more because I didn't activate it ahead of time. And let's just get some of this. Yeah, kind of a tealy blue. Let's get some of this on here. If it gets onto the background, I don't care. I'm going to try not to splash it all over the background, but it does have gel medium on it, so I could just wipe it if it bothered me. All right, now I'm going to add another color on top of that. and just kind of get some movement. I'm going to go in the same vein here, the same palette of palettes, and I'm picking a green because I believe, you know, all of these colors kind of go together. So all the colors on a strip kind of go together. And I'm going to put this green. Can you see how powerful these pigments are? Maybe put one in the middle like that. Okay. And then let's go with a color that's different. Let's go with one of these. Now, if I use orange, I'm going to be getting brown. Not that that's bad. I think I'm going to use this yellow. This is obviously either I've got an awful lot of green left on my brush, or this is a greeny yellow. I think it was just some of the color left on my brush. And I'm just going to put some dots. Now, as this dries, it may completely go away, but there'll be something there. You know, it's like sticking your foot in the river. It's going to change. All right, I'm going to water this one down because I want the colors to mingle and merge. And let's grab one of the oranges. This one. Kind of looks to me like a kind of a pumpkin-y orange. And I'm just going to put some swirls like that. And now I'm going to grab this kind of goldenrod-y color, it looks like to me. And see, with paints like this, they didn't give them names. You know, I can't tell you, oh, well, this is yellow ochre, this is, you know, cadmium red. No, don't know. Don't know. But I'm just filling this in with some color. And again, if I go over the edge, I'm not going to worry about it. Now I'm going to leave this one alone while the other one dries. And I'm not going to rub it around anymore because I don't want to just mix the colors up to make mud. Let's work on this one. Wet it down. And my water is not turning milky, which tells me this is not loaded down with a lot of optical brighteners, or it's not loaded down with a lot of fillers. So this is some kind of a green shade here. I think I'm going to do dots. Now, since I'm in an art journal and the page has some curve to it, we're going to get some different curves. And I think I'm going to pick a different blue, not even on the same, the other one was pretty much all greens. So this is, I think it's another sort of, this is the one I used before. This is the one I'm using now. And put dots in it. Now, because I did not put water, I hope, off the edge of my circle, I'm not having the migration off the circle. If you get water on the outside of your circle, then the watercolor is going to want to migrate. And I'm just pushing it closer to the edge. If I get a white edge, am I worried about it? Not really. But I'm hoping to have, you know, watercolory look. Okay, let's leave that one alone. Now, these are going to lighten up as they dry. That is the nature of watercolor. How much it lightens, or as we call it, shifting, that's going to depend on the quality and the pigments. Sometimes it's not, you know, just quality. So don't get discouraged. All right, this is supposed to be this color. This is supposed to be a purple, and I think it is. So I'm going to go ahead, and purple is neutral in so much as it's not really warm and it's not really cool. So the fact that it's on this palette doesn't surprise me. It's a lighter color. I thought I picked up a good amount. Yeah, it's a lighter color, a little more transparent. That's fine. Watercolor is supposed to be transparent. bringing it right out to the edge. And then I'm going to pick, maybe a different purple. This one, I think it's supposed to be purplish. I hope it's not black. It might be more of a navy blue. I'm not sure. Yeah, blue. It's okay. Just getting some different color combinations. How about a third color? We haven't done that yet. What if I added one of the more red colors? Let's see here. I'm looking at the bottom parts. Let's try this. It kind of looks orange or kind of cadmium color, but let's just, yeah, like a cadmium. I'm just going to put some in here too. Maybe some dots. And let's just let that merge and mingle around a little bit. Okay. I'm going to move to this one. Get this. I think I got some of the, I know I did. I got some of the water off. That's all right. That's all right. I want to do another red. I just dove into this red, not really sure what it is. This is more of a true red. It's probably one of the cooler of the colors in here. Okay, let's give it a yellow. This is more of a lemon yellow, I suspect. Yep. Everything doesn't have to look too crazy, a little crazy. Now again, these may not even show up, but they kind of will. I don't want to add more because my brush is full of that red. Maybe I'll go into that red add some dots over here. I think I'm going to take a finer brush. I'm not even going to wet it. And I'm just going to drag it through. And now I can see some white here that I'm just gonna work towards the edge a little bit. Okay, and now I'm just gonna add some drops of water. We'll see what that does. Okay, leave that alone. I can see that it's pooling in some of the areas. I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to absorb some of this. I'm just trying not to really change the direction of the way that the colors are mixing, but I'm just drying it a little bit. Okay, now let's get this one done because it's up against here. Get it wet. We've got some bright colors going on here. That's great. Isn't this fun? I'm having fun. I hope you are. All right, let's go over here to the browns. Brown can be pretty. It can. I'm going to go with, this is kind of a mustardy color. Let's give this a go. Pick some up from there and put it over here. Good. Now I'm going to pick up another kind of a yellowy color. One of these, I don't have that many yellowy colors. I really only have a few. There's some hidden under here. Let's grab one of these. You stay up there. We've got all these colors. Let's use them. And I'm just kind of going around these blobs. Don't know what it's going to turn into. The future is not mine to know. Okay. Okay, that's good. I don't know if you can see that there's two different colors there, but there is. Now this is starting to puddle again, so I'm just going to dry it. And we may have to go over this with the heat gun so that we can keep working. Okay, I think this one is ready to handle some color. And I think I want to go with a blue again. Or maybe a brown. Let's just see. Yeah, I'm going with the brown. I think this looks kind of like a Van Dyke brown. More like a caramely color, huh? It's pretty. Just making some radiating things out here this way. And I'm going to grab another brown. Something dark. It's only one color away from where I was, but let's just see. Yep, it's darker. And I'm just filling in the pie shapes. I think it complements the yellow and orange nicely. Get some more of that. Subtle, but nice. Yeah, I like it. Good. Yeah, nice. Okay, kind of starting to look like planets to me. What do you think? A little bit planetary. Okay, we've got this one. So let's move this up. Get it wet. And I think it's time for a blue. Now, way up here, there's some darker bluey, purpley shades. I'm going right here. My heavens, this could be black. Well, if it's black, it's black. It is indigo. I like it. I really like it. And I think I'm going to just move over just a couple of colors. I'm going to go with this very tippy top one. It's dripping. I moved it away because my hand was dripping. Way up at the tippy top here. Oh, it's another indigo. Well, that's all right. Not a whole lot different, but it's different. I'm getting it right to the edge. Now, this has a white, and I am going to grab some of that white. Now, I've been doing all of this with this big old round brush. Now, many times white in a palette like this is really used so that you can mix it with the other colors and kind of create a pastel, but it's not really where it would obliterate like whiteout or like white ink. But let's just see what it does on this dark. And we'll just make some dots like snow or stars or who knows what. And I'm just turning my brush so that a fresh side of the white is getting dotted in there. Okay, let's let that dry, and we've just got one more. This one reminds me of a coffee filter. If any of these just aren't doing it for me, I wouldn't hesitate to go ahead and put some more color on, you know. So if you don't get it the way you really want, or it didn't turn out the way you thought, I mean, I'm using practically mystery paints here. And just you can add some more. There's no mistakes. This is a no judgment zone. I just want you to have fun. Just get some color in your book and have fun. All right, let's find a blue, or maybe a blue and green combo again. That would be these two. Go way up to the tippy top. I think at the very tip top of this one is purple. So I'm going to go with the very bottom. And I think this is kind of a khaki color. I'm not sure. Did I wet it? Yes, I did. Okay, what are we doing? Let's just get some color on here. And I'm going to go up to this kind of a lime green. And let's get some of this in here. I think that works well with the yellow. And I'm picking another green. Just one above. It's even a lighter green than we had. But can you see that for less than, I know I paid less than $20. Now I can't say, well, no, because I had free shipping. I got it from Amazon. So I think it was like $18 or $19. Then tax and whatever, I know, but still, this is a lot of colors, good quality, good payout of color. And look, some of these have been drying for quite a while. I don't see a whole lot of shifting going on. These are good paints. All right, this one doesn't send me. And I think all I'm going to do is find some kind of a browny, orangey color. That would be up here. Or maybe one of these tans. And I'm going to just give it some more. I think this is kind of a tan color. It is. I'm washing over the whole thing. Everything won't be lost. And please don't think it was a waste of time, because it wasn't. We're just bumping it up a notch. Yep. I like it better. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned right now anyway, I feel like I'm done with the watercolors. Now, I do try to dry these kind of fanned out, so I'm just going to set them aside, but I'm not closing them. I have closed them, and I didn't get sticking together and stuff, so if you have one of these sets, just let it dry some. Okay, I have a decision to make. I pulled out my metallics. Do I want to add a little shimmer? Do I want to add a little gold or silver? I'm just kind of looking. I don't think so. Not at this point. Maybe it's something I'll add once we work on these some more. I'm not sure. But in the meantime, I'm going to not put them away, but not yet. All right. I'm going to give this a dry. And hopefully I can edit it out, and then I'll be right back. See you in a minute. Now, I gave it just a moment to cool so that I could really feel if they're dry, and they feel good and dry to me. This one's a little bit cool, so I'm going to work on it a little bit later. But now we've got our circles and they're dry. So don't know what you think about them. I think they're cool. I'm going to set my watercolor brushes out of the way, and I'm going to reach for some markers. Now I've got my Poscas handy, but I want to start out with just some Sharpies. and just kind of see. And I'm grabbing several because, you know, can't always count on them working, but hopefully. Now, I'm going to start, and I'm moving so you may not see the whole book at a time. I'm going to start. Now, this one's pretty dark. I know it may not seem dark, but compared to a Sharpie, it's dark. So I'm going to start doodling on all of these. So for this one, I'm going to start by just maybe putting a little circle in the middle. And then bring it out like a petal, or maybe like a propeller on a wing, on a airplane kind of thing. And I think I'll put one here. And put one here. And now I'm going to fill in okay. I like that. I think that's a great beginning. Now, I think I'm going to put maybe another, just a little teardrop in each one. And I don't have any pre-planned ideas. I'm just working as the muse sends me. Like that. This one got a little weird, but that's okay. I guess there's a couple of them that are a little weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill in a little bit between each one with the black. I'm just making the lines a little heavier. Yeah, I like that better. I'm bring this out and bring this up. Okay. That works. Good, good. All right, I'm going to put a circle on the tips. Obviously, I'm not using a template. If your circles look a little wonky, don't worry about it. And I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to use my smaller nib one, but I'm going to move on to some of these others. Okay, let's bring this up a little bit. How about this one? Well, let's see. I think I'm just going to start with this marker with just some circles. Now, if I want to outline with this, I can always still do that. But I'm just getting some shapes in here right now, and then I'm going to add more detail with the finer. So let's see now, just because this one's tucked up against, I'm going to have the pattern look like it's going under it. So I think you'll see what I mean with that. Let's just give this one, I'm going to give it a dot. These two have open circles, so I'm going to give that one a dot. And I'm going to give this one a circle like this. And then I'm just going to make it way out. And places that I didn't like there, I'm just going to make the line a little heavier. Kind of smooth this out. If my head is in the way, I'm sorry. But see, I'm not going here because I want to have my design look like it's tucked under. All right, how about this one? Where are we going to go? I don't know. I want to think on that one. I want to move over here. This one. This one already has some cool stuff in it. I think I'm just going to outline it. And yes, I've got my arm just resting on here. My outline got a little bit on my background. I'm not worried about that. But again, I'm not going to go here because I want it to look like it's going off the page. I don't want it to look like it's a part of a circle. I want it to look like a whole circle, but it's going off the page. I'm just going to leave that like that. All right, how about this one or this one? We'll start up here. This one really has some kind of cool shapes that I'm going to just take advantage of. And I'm just going to kind of follow this around. Like that. And like that. I like it. Kind of looks like spots on a cow. Where did I get that? I don't know. But it does. I'm not taking it back. Okay. I'm just going to go all the way around. Oh boy. If you worry about not getting it exact, obviously I don't worry about it. And let's just fill this in. All the way around. A little more here. Okay. Now, I think this one, I'm just going to outline. I can always add more. Okay. Few more here, huh? Let's see. Well, this one, let's start with 3 circles, and that's kind of that tan color. And I'm going to give it some of this. Like that. This is a bigger one. Maybe I'll give it 2 rows. Uh-huh. That's fine. How about this one? Yep, I like that. Okay, good start. Now, I love this one. I just think this is so pretty. I'm going to outline it. But I think I'm going to do a kind of a finer direction on it, a finer design. Sorry, got quiet. Okay, and now we've got this guy left. I like this one. I'm going to give it dots. So I'm going to put an outline. This outline went more on the book than it did on the piece of watercolor paper, but that's okay. I'm just going to finish the thought though. I'm sorry if my hand's in front. I'm sure it is. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So step number 2. I'm going to get my fine Sharpie. And let's get some smaller details going on. What kind of smaller details? Well, I'm going to show you. This one. I'm definitely going to add, I think, some color to this one with the Poscas, but I'm going to add some finer details. I may need to wait on this one. I'm going to wait on that one with the Poscas. Let's start on this one. Okay. I'm going to add squiggly lines that don't cross. So it's going to give it kind of a lacy look. Now, my hand might be awfully close and you can't really see what I'm doing, and I'm sorry. But when I lift my hand and as I keep working, I think you will see. I'm going to skip one and I'm going to do the same here. Now, this can seem very tedious, and it is, and it's going to take some time, and it will, but the results are amazing. It just gives a texture unlike anything else. And I'm going sideways, I'm going catty corner, but I just don't let the lines cross. Now, if they do, I don't throw the whole thing away, but I avoid it. And I'm trying to work without moving the book so that you can see what I'm doing. Now, watercolor paper absorbs this ink in this Sharpie. So if the Sharpie goes dry, I just need to let it rest and it'll come back. It's just that the nib dries out, but there's still plenty of ink in the body of the pen. So now I kind of worked myself into a corner there. That's all right. I'm just going to start over with a new line. I'm still not crossing. I try not to even have them touch each other, but I'm sure they do. Yeah, my pen is getting weaker and weaker, so I'm just going to let it sit for a minute. Grab another one. This is the wrong kind of Sharpie. What's this? I don't know if this one's going to work. We'll see. Oh, yeah. You of little faith. That other one was a brush nib, and I'm not doing that kind of work right now. So can you see the texture that I'm getting with this? Isn't it cool? But the colors still sing underneath. You can definitely see I'm not obliterating or getting rid of the rhythm of the color that's there. Sometimes I go horizontal, sometimes I go vertical, sometimes I go diagonal, and I just keep going till I get to where I started. Okay, there's that one. Now, how about, I know you're thinking, Julie, we've watched you do this enough. Well, do it in the name of art, right? Here we go. So this has been a bit of a week. You know that well, maybe you don't know. I'm a nurse. That's my day job. I work 3 night shifts a week. And that's what helps me with things like food and rent and insurance and just all that kind of stuff. But I do private duty, so I take care of critically ill children at home. Children that have trachs, children that have vents, children that have complicated medications or that just need a lot of observation because maybe when they try to sleep, they lose their oxygen. I mean, it just, all kinds of things. But there has been here in Western Michigan a lot of viruses. Now, not the virus that we were all quarantined for. If there's a lot of that going on, I'm not aware of it. I think there's more of it than we realize just because some people I know in my personal life have gotten it. Coworkers as well. So, but they're not in the hospital. they and their family are individually quarantined until they get it figured out and get well. And they do. We're not seeing the surge that we've had in the past, which is a good thing. And the insurance that my company provides us with testing equipment, so we can always be sure. But there have been other viruses going around where you'll say, well, see, there's things just as bad. I'm not going to argue with that. They are serious, especially for my clientele. However, they're not as prevalent. There's not hundreds and hundreds. We don't have emergency rooms loaded. We don't have intensive care units that can't handle the load. There's not patients in the halls, but they're still out there. And I've been working with that kind of a thing lately. What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? I think that looks gorgeous. Okay, what next? What about these? Haven't decided yet. I definitely want to do something, but I don't know what. I'm going to start, though, with just, if you saw my video on doodling, and it's making your own ephemera, but we talk about doodling. I call this the M's. It's just like an M, 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 again and again and again. Just those bumps of an M, the letter M. And I'm just going to go all the way around. And I want this to look organic. I don't want it to look machine made. So, if you see imperfections, I'm expecting that. That's okay. I like that. I like that row. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a row of circles under. Now, they're not going to match up necessarily to the M's, but I'm just putting a row of circles. And I'm adding texture. Now, will we get done with this today? Now that we're this far into it, I doubt it. But I think we'll get enough of it done that you'll get the idea, and then maybe I will just show you it finished, in the next video. We can always do something like that. I really like this. I'm going to put another row of circles on the outside of the M's. And I'm just making little tiny circles. These are just doodles. But I'm adding a texture to the whole sphere. And what I can do is just keep going. And if it's getting too much for you, you can just always tap the video and then slide the little time bar, and you can just move it across and skip to the end if you want. However you want to do it. Okay, I think I'm going to add a little line, not like with the big Sharpie, but with my little Sharpie all the way around. Oops, I got out a little far in some places. That's cool. I'm going to do another one in here. And just bring it right close up. So this is a real exercise in doodling, huh? I think so. All right, what next? This next one, I may have to move my book around, but that's okay. I'm going to start, I don't want to start right at the end. I'd rather fit into the end with maybe a partial. So I'm going to do some triangles. Just like this. And like I said, just because I don't want to lose the angles, I may need to move it because I don't want them to start leaning one way or the other. And again, these are not perfect. Now see, here's what I mean about a partial. I would rather get started and then do it. Okay, I'm turning this book. I don't want to eliminate your light. Okay. I pushed a few things over, but I think they're okay. Oop, that one's getting a little sideways. I don't want to start there. I'll put one here. Oh, that one got really sideways. Oh boy. Not gonna worry about it. Okay. Look at that one. That's okay. All right, now let's see if we can straighten him out a little bit. All right, I am going to put some circles in between the triangles. It kind of reminds me of the patterns that sometimes you see on blankets or sweaters, and I like that look. I think it's fine. And there. Okay. Now what? I think another black circle. And now I'm going to leave it. I've got this space here and this space here that I think I'm going to add some Posca. So pretty much got those guys done. I'm going to move this over. I'm going to move my water over. We're done with that. Now I know that this is going to be maybe going off kilter, but that's okay. All right, this one. This one is pretty on its own. So I'm just going to bring a circle there, and I'm going to do 3 circles in kind of like a triangle. So it's 2 circles close to the middle and then 1 on the outside. Do you see what I mean? 2 circles and then 1 on the outside. Like that. Good. I'm going to leave that one alone. This one needs some work. I'm going to start with a circle there. And I'm going to bring it out. And I'm going to start another one. What do you think? I'm going to bring it out to that other one till it practically touches. Good. And I'm going to start 2 of them. Start this one. I'm going to make this one bigger. One more time. Like that. Okay, good. I'm going to put one here, a bigger one. I'm going to put one off the edge. And another one off the edge here. And one more off the edge. Now the spaces that are left, I'm going to fill in like this. And I don't know how to describe this. It's just another way of making texture. I think this adds a lot. I like the result of this. There. I am happy with that. 2 more. Are you up for it? And I still have to work on this one. All right, let's see. What are we going to do with this one? I'm going to take advantage of these circles. And then there's like a line here, and I'm just going to follow it. I'm just following the watercolor the way it kind of laid. Like that. Yep, I like that. Let's do some more. Now this one kind of looks like this. And I'm going to bring a line through here. So I'm not really deciding. I'm letting the watercolor decide. And I'm just kind of highlighting some of the ways that it just kind of pooled and feathered. Yep. Looks kind of planetary to me. I'm just going to end these with a little loop. Now we've got kind of a radiating one here. And how did you think of this? I didn't think of it really. I just saw these beautiful patterns and decided to kind of take advantage of it. Like that. Here's another one. More tortury. We've got a spot here, spot here, spot here. And then it kind of goes out like this. Little one here, little bigger one here. You know what? I am liking this so much, I don't know that I'm going to get the Poscas out. I mean, I just think the watercolor has done a beautiful job. This is a little plain. We're going to work on that. Okay, let's do this one next. First thing I'm going to do is draw some lines in these centers. And I'm going to draw this leaf shape. Like that. A little bit of another leaf shape over here. Like that. Okay. What else can we do with these guys? Well, we could do dots. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, get your coffee. It's going to take a minute, but not too much of a minute. I'm going to start out with a bigger one and then fill in with these circles. Another big one. Now this is relaxing for me. Maybe it's driving you nuts, but it shouldn't. Because I said so. Oh, so besides illness, what else am I dealing with? Oh, and through all this illness, my son, my daughter-in-law, the baby, I haven't seen them in 2 weeks. I'm going to be seeing them today, first time, because of my job, and they know this, you know, I try very hard not to bring sickness home, and they had fevers. One turned out to have a sinus infection. One has a virus, just a cough and cold kind of a virus. But haven't been seeing them, but had a notice stuck on my door. And of course, that brings the anxiety up when you come home and there's a note hanging on your door. But then I saw there was a note hanging on everyone's door. So I got over that, and they installed a whole different lock system in our homes. And it's a touchpad kind of a thing. And it also includes the thermostat. And then you put an app on your phone if you want. You don't have to. And you select a code. And so now it's an electronic lock system. And I've got more reading to do, but I do have an Alexia. If I say it, it'll trigger yours and mine. But you can hook it up to that somehow. I haven't read how. I'm sure it involves getting some smart plugs and things. But you can hook things up so that you can give commands and turn lights on and off. Now, one thing that I've already taken advantage of that I liked was I had my heat turned down when I left, and then just when I left home, and then when I was leaving work, which I have an hour drive, I set my thermostat up just a couple of notches. So when I got home, it wasn't quite such a chill in the air, which was nice, but I didn't have to heat up all night long. So you see what I mean? That, which I know some of you are saying, you know, I've had that for years. Well, that's fine, but I don't have a choice to do this on my own. But now that it's a system that is across the complex, see, isn't that looking cool? So yeah, I learned a new technology, and I'm going to read up on it and learn some more and see what else how I can take advantage of this system. It'll be nice, convenient. Making circle, 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 circle. Look at that. It's coming along. I think it looks really nice. To me, it's starting to look like these are some sort of fantasy flowers that are floating in water. Can you kind of see that maybe? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you have an electronic lock system like that. That would be cool. I'd love to hear about it. If it was something you decided. Now, I'm not paying anything extra. Of course, I pay every month for the privilege of living here, but it's not like I had to go to Home Depot and pick up a system. And when the systems first came out, they were more expensive than they are now. And I hope they've perfected them more. Am I worried about having it be easier to break in? Nah, no. Because I can choose either a 6-digit, and it's just numbers, a 6-number passcode to get in, or I can set a 4-digit. It's my choice. Whatever makes me feel more comfortable. Now, if I want maintenance to come in, I have to come up with a temporary code that they use once and then it'll be deleted. Now, how that's going to work if they have to go back and forth with tools and stuff, I don't know. But that's up to them. But if you have a relative or someone else that you're letting in once, you can set it up for that. So yeah, there's advantages. And I know that the same system you can get for your home. Now, would you have to pay like a monthly fee for all this? I don't know. Because I know that I hooked it up. Now they had it hooked to some kind of a internet system. I don't know who or what, but I hooked it up to my home system. And from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, that is supposed to make it a little bit handier for, instead of just having a smart lock, I can create a smart home. But again, I'm not sure. We'll see. I have stuff to learn about it. But I've had it just literally days, so. So that's something that I've had happen. I hope that you've been healthy. I've heard from some of you that there's been some different illnesses and people have gone on holidays, which is so nice. The local people here, you're not hearing about too many holidays now because we're coming up on holiday season. So people, they'll be traveling more. Here in the US, we've got Thanksgiving, which is the 4th Thursday of November. And then shortly after that, we all know is Christmas. So I know that a lot of people save traveling money for that. And then I'm looking at maybe traveling more in March or April. I'm going to definitely avoid spring break times. I'm not going to a spring break type of area, but it's just that traveling during when the colleges and high schools and all are having their spring break tend to be more expensive, and rightfully so. I don't begrudge them that. But I'm going to go see. Remember, I had my sister here? Well, I'm going to go see that sister, I hope. I've got some details to figure out, but I hope so. We'll see. If it's meant to be, it will happen. And if not, well, probably a reason. Do all of you fly? Or are you afraid to fly? Do you take trains and things? I had a friend that decided to go from New York. I'm trying to think where in New York. I mean, it's somewhere like, not Manhattan, but in one of the areas in New York City. And went to Florida. And it took, I think it was 3 days and 2 nights of bus riding. But hey, got there and got there safe. So nothing wrong with that. And the trains, you can just do such cool things. You can see so much on a train, and you can stop off if there's a destination in between here and there that you want to stop in. I know people are going to be taking trains all around Michigan, which is the state I live in, because of fall colors. and they'll just take train rides and see all the fall colors. Maybe they'll go to Chicago. You know, Chicago, when I was a kid, was considered like the train capital or something of the United States. And they had a huge railway yard. I don't know if they still do. I think they still do. I don't know if it's operational. But people would take train rides between Michigan and Illinois often. I mean, it was a thing. I think now, though, the thing is, if you're doing it on a holiday, you may or may not want to spend a good portion of your holiday in the riding mode. Now, some people find that relaxing, but if there's people that you're looking forward to seeing at the other end, to cut your trip being with them for a couple of days may not be desirable. That's when flying. And for me, I can drive to Chicago in less than 3 hours. I want to say it's about 2.5, 2 3/4 hours to get to downtown or the city of Chicago from here. So why would I take a train for a couple of days unless I wanted to see fall colors? And, you know, there's very good reasons why. Have a dinner in a dining car and maybe get a sleeping compartment. There's a lot of reasons. Hey, look, we're getting there. We are getting there. Now, there's still another step after I finish decorating these circles up. So again, I hope you stay. And for those of you who are still here, so faithful, thank you so much. Means a lot. And I hope you're learning something. Now I'm going to be, well, I've started a journal, a handmade journal for my son. I mentioned it in another video. He has a sticker collection. And I mean, my son is not a teenager, he's 35. But he has a sticker collection of stickers that he's gotten from vendors. And I guess stickers are more of a thing now than they were, like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. I know people buy an awful lot of stickers from Etsy, and people that do those, like, bullet journals, they use different kinds of stickers. So I know stickers are more of a thing now, but his, I believe, he said they're all from vendors when he has to go to these different conventions and things for his work. But I guess there's like, I don't know, a sticker con or something where you can go and trade and whatever. I don't know the whole thing, but he's got a lot of stickers, and I'm making a journal to go with it. And some people have said that they'd be interested in seeing how I make the envelopes and things, which I have started. So that's going to be a coming up video. I'm turning this guy around, obviously, to work on this. I'm not going to do a whole lot to this because I really think it's pretty. So I'm just going to go around these green dots the way that the watercolor has. This is where I put the 3 circles. Put another ring. That's all I'm doing to that. I think that's pretty. I like this. I like the simplicity of it. So that leaves, oh, that leaves this one. This one is awfully dark. I don't know what I can do that you can see. I'm going to go around the white dots. I'm not even sure. Let's get it more into the light for you. There's definitely a demarcation here that I'm just tracing through. And then these have gotten just a little more faint, so I'm going to make them faint. Now I'm just doing dots, which I realize, again, you may not even be able to see. I'm just putting some dots off the edge. Yeah, looks planetary to me. Good. All right, last stage. Yay! I'm grabbing a graphite pencil and I've got my cotton buds. I am just going to put some shading. So I'm going to say the light's coming this way and I'm going to be shading along this side. And even the ones that are up against, I want to give them just a bit of a three-dimensional kind of a look. So I'm putting the pencil, and a number 2 pencil will work fine. I just know this, you'll be able to see better. But either one will work fine. And do the same, well, not that far, right here. About halfway. I'm just making a shadow. Yep. About halfway. And I'm letting the graphite do the work. Blurring it out. Because shadows can be kind of blurry like that, right? And we don't know the thickness of these, so some of them are going to maybe cast a little bit heavier of a shadow than the other ones. Think if you're making Christmas cards, how you could do this in holiday colors and create a Christmas card design. Wouldn't that be pretty? There's a lot of ways you can utilize this exercise. I'm liking that. I want more here. I like that better. This one. And I'm even going to draw further out. This one's going to have more of a shadow. Bring it around this way a little bit. Now, this would start here. Like that. This is dying. I'm turning it around. Because I don't want to scratch everything apart. Okay. And this one. Doesn't this just add like a cool shadow? I love it. And I'm so glad that this background was made ahead. That's why I like to do it. Now again, those of you who are hanging in here with me, I am so grateful. Thanks. Means a lot. One more. Be right about here. And rub it out. A little more here. Well, let me know in the comments what you think. I'm giving it a sign. I hope you found this inspirational, maybe educational, maybe it just gave you some ideas to do something on your own. But I like this art journal spread very much, and I hope you do too. Please consider sharing with your friends. Give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. In the meantime,